Welcome dear students, my name is Swati B.S., lecturer in Computer Science, Vishwamanava Composite PU College, Chitradurga. In the last session, we started the chapter called Pointers. In this, we discussed about the pointers arithmetic and the relationship between pointers and arrays, and we also discussed about the very important concept called arrays of objects. So, or arrays of pointers that we discussed in the last class. In today's class, we are going to discuss about the relationship between the pointers and the strings. The concept is pointers and the strings. Pointers and strings. So, we know that what do you mean by pointers? Pointers are the special kinds of variable used to store or used to hold the address of another variable. So what do you mean by string? A string is a sequence of characters that ends with a null character. So if you consider the explanation of this, there is a close relationship between the pointers and the strings. Pointers and strings. So what do you mean by string? String is a sequence of characters. String is a sequence of characters, or it is also called as a collection of characters that ends with a null character. So string means we know that the single letter or single digit or single symbol is called character. For example, A is a character. So if I combine multiple letters, so for example, V, M, C, these are the separate letters which are enclosed in a single quotation mark. These are called characters. And if I combine all these three letters and if these are placed in a double quotation mark, this will become the string. That means sequence of character that ends with a null character is called string anta heltivi. So individual letters idre it is character. If you combine all those letters, all those characters, it will become the string. Now the concept is we have to show what is the relationship between pointers and the string. Hagadre string ige matte pointers ige yav tara connection ide, what is the relationship that we have to show in this concept. So let us take one example for this. So consider an array of 5 characters. Consider an array of 5 characters. So then let us write the example. The data type is char and array name is yes and size of the array is 5. So I taken an array. So that is of data type char and the name of the array is yes and the size of the array is 5. Now I want to declare one pointer. What type of pointer? Character type pointer I have to declare now. So write the data type as char. Then pointers are declared by using the pointer operator. We discussed it in the last class. So pointer operator is used to declare the pointers. Write the pointer operator. Then write the pointer name. Pointer name is your wish. You can give any name to the pointer, but I am taking it as CPTR. CPTR indicates character pointer, name of the pointer. This is. Now observe here, I have to assign the address of string to an pointer. Address of string should be assigned to the pointer. Now I am writing it as CPTR is equal to yes. Now observe, we are not using address of operator here. So now ಬೇರೆ examples ನೋಡಿದಾಗ, previous classes ನೋಡಿದಾಗ, to store the address of one variable into an pointer, we have to use an address of operator. But in case of this, we are not using the address of operator because when you are storing the address of an array, we have to store base address of an array. That means the address of first element of an array. The address of first element of an array is called base address. Thus, base address is given to the pointer if you specify the name of the array. So, you ಬೇಸ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ನ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ ಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಅರೇ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು, ಆಟೋಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೇಸ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಅರೇ ಹಿಯರ್? ಎಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಅರೇ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ರೈಟ್ ದಟ್, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ an array, that is called base address into this pointer. And in this, S is called the character array which is having 5 characters, and CPTR is a character pointer. In this, CPTR is called character pointer. Next, in this, if you want to represent the array elements, if you want to refer the array elements, it can be represented like this. The first element is S of 0, and second element is S of 1, and third element is S of 2, and fourth element is S of 3, and fifth element is S of 4. Observe here, what is the size of an array we taken? 5 is the size of an array. So 5 elements can be written like this. S of 0 is the first element, S of 1 is represented as a second element, and S of 2 means third element, S of 3 means fourth element, S of 4 means fifth element. And after this, when you compile this coding, or when the program is compiled, compiler does not store all the memory location address. So we know that it will store only the name of an array. The pointer will store only the name of an array. Compiler does not store all the address of an elements of an array. Does not store address of all the elements of an array. You can observe here how many elements are there in an array. We are having 5 elements in an array, and all the 5 elements are having the address. But in case of this, the compiler does not store the address of all the elements of an array. Instead of, it stores the base address. Instead of, it will take the base address. So if you know the base address, we can easily find the remaining locations address. Means if you know the address of S of 0, we can easily find the remaining locations address, because the array stores the elements in a continuous memory locations. Array andre elements na heng store ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? Continuous memory locations ಅಲ್ಲಿ store ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. So if I consider the address of this is 1020. So example purpose ಗೆ, what is the address I taken? 1020. Since the array stores elements in a continuous location, the address of this one become 1021, the address of this become 1022, and address of this become 1023, and address of this becomes 1024. That means if you know the address of the first element, so address of the first element means it is a base address. If you know the base address, we can easily find the address of remaining elements in a string, or remaining elements in an array anta helಬೋದು. And here you can observe here, the array is also represented as a string, and string is also represented by using one-dimensional arrays. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ data type ಮಾತ್ರ vary ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. What is the data type we use here? Char ಅಂತ use ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. It indicates character. Next, let us consider the example, one more example. Character pointer of 5, or you may take it as same name. So S antane ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ array name. S of 5 is equal to, I am taking a string as hello. Hello is the string I taken. Have you observed that it is a string? This string ante heng gottaaytu? Collection of characters which are enclosed in a double quotation mark. Now characters na group madibittu double quotation mark ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ it indicates that it is a string. And next, consider this. From this we can observe that if you write yes, now yes ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ it gives the address of first element, that is S of 0. That means H. ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರದ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡುತ್ತದು? S ನ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ, H ನ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. That is the first element. And if I write the star S means pointer of S. If I write like this, it the value of this. So what is the value present in S of 0? H is present in S of 0. You can observe the difference here. Only S ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. It will give address of H. Address of H ನ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. And if you write pointer of S ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, it gives H. ನಮಗೆ ಆ H ನೇ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. H. It gives H as a result. And next, if I write like this, S of 0 means it also gives the result as H only. S of 0 indicates the first element. What is the first element here? H. Or the element located at 0th location is H. Adana return ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. And the next point you have to observe here, S plus indicates incrementation, means increase the value of S by 1. So what is the value of S? S means address of S of 0 or address of H ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. S plus ಅಂದ್ರೆ it gives the address of E. It gives the address of E. What is the next element of H? H ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇರೋ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಯಾವುದು? E. It gives the address of E. And if I represent like this, star S plus means it will return or it gives the value as E. ನಮಗೆ ಇದು ಏನೇ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಎಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಟು ಆನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್. And next, star S plus ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, it is a pointer operator which returns value of that location. What is the location here? Say first location. What is the value here? E is the value. So this is about the relationship between pointers and string. You have to write the string definition and one example and how the elements are represented by using arrays. And during the compilation, what will happen? When the program is compiled, the compiler does not store all the address. Instead, it stores only the name of an array or the base address of a string or the base address of an array. And by using that, we will take an example. S indicates address of H. Star S means it gives the H. S of 0 also gives H. S plus means it will give the next location, that means address of E. Star S plus means it gives the value E. This is about pointers and strings. So next we will discuss about pointers as arguments or pointers as parameters. Parameters under one, arguments under one. So let us discuss pointers has a parameters to the function. Pointers as a parameters to the function. We know that if you want to pass the parameters, if you want to write the parameters must be written in front of the functions. Now parameters na elli barkotivi, functions ina mundgade open and close parentheses irutte. Inside that we are writing the parameters or we are writing the arguments. And we know that before going to explain this, let us discuss the example first. This is the example artha madkondre explanation easy agutte. So let us write the function. Void is the return type specifier and swap is the function name I am using. Swap means it is the interchanging of two values of two variables. For example, A value is 10, B value is 20 anta tagondre. What is A value? 10. And B value is 20. After execution, these values must be interchanged. A value 20 agirbeku, B value 10 agirbeku. This concept is called swapping. This concept is swap anta karitivi, means interchanging of values of two variables is called swap. And now our concept is to swap the values of two variables by using which concept? Pointers as an arguments, or pointers as a parameters to the function. Now write the arguments here. This is the function name. Function in mundgade en baritivi, arguments baritivi. What type of arguments we have to write here? Pointer parameters, pointer arguments na barkobeku. Let us write the int is the first argument and int star y is the second argument. You can observe here, star x it is a pointer and star y it is a pointer because we use the pointer operator here. ಈ pointer operator ನ use ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. These are all the parameters which are passed to a function called square. There are two parameters here. One is f star x and another one is star y. These two are the parameters to the function called square. And next we have to write the coding part for this. How the swapping will exist? Declare one temporary variable called int temp. One temporary variable declare ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. What is the name of the temporary variable? Temp. Next step, I am storing the value present in star x. The value present in pointer x to the temp. Star x ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋದು pointer x ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ? temp ಗೆ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. And next, now this pointer x becomes empty. Now the value of pointer y, the value of pointer y is passed to the pointer x. Now the pointer y becomes empty. So pointer y is equal to temp, means the value present in temp is stored in the star. This is how the interchanging of two values will occur. So for example, if I take the values for star x stores 10 and star y stores 20 are the two values. Now trace this coding, trace this programming coding. So temp is equal to star x. What is the argument value of star x? The argument value of 10. Now the temp stores the 10. What is the value of temp now? 10. Next, go for the next step. Pointer of x is equal to pointer of y. What is pointer of y? Pointer of y stores 20. Means the pointer x stores the value called 20. Go for the next step. Pointer of y is equal to 10. What is temp value? Temp value is 10. You can observe here, pointer of x become 20, pointer of y become 10. This means the values of these two are interchanged. X ಮತ್ತೆ y values ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ interchange ಆಗಿದೆ. This is how we can pass pointers as a parameters. In this, you must write the two lines of explanations for this. First one is the pointers can be an parameters to a function, and this can allow the changes to the argument. Nodi now argument values first 10 into 20 into, then the interchange ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ x value 20 ಆಯ್ತು, y value ಏನಾಯ್ತು 10 ಆಯ್ತು, 20 into 10 ಆಗಿದೆ. That means this type of passing and parameters allows the value to be changed, inside the function. ಈ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಏನಾಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. That is called as pointers as a parameters to the function. So in this method, the value passed to an parameters are allowed to be changed within the function. So this is about the pointers as a parameters. The next topic is the relationship between pointers and structures. Pointers and structures. So in the first year you see we already discussed about the chapter called structures. So structures on the chapter na odiri. We discussed about the pointers in this class. So pointer means it is a special kind of variable used to store the address of another variable. So what do you mean by structure then? So now last year odiro age structure means it is a named collection of variables which are of same data type or different data type. Means structure ಒಳಗಡೆ ನಾವು ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತೀವಿ. We are storing the variables inside the structure. Those variables may be of same data type or different data type. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ಸ್ ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ಸ್ ಫ್ಲೋಟ್ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ಸ್ ಡಬಲ್ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಇರಬಹುದು. So what do you mean by structure? Structure is a collection of variables where all the variables may be of same data type or different data type. So when you consider this concept, pointers can also be created for structure variables. Now pointers na ಏನಾಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ structure variables ಆಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Pointers can be created as a structure variables here. And these structure variables can be accessed by the special operator. So this can be accessed by using a special operator called arrow operator. What is the name of the operator? Arrow operator. We are using a special operator to access the pointer variables. So what is that operator name? Arrow operator. So how we can access the variables? How we can access the variables by using arrow operator? So we are having syntax for that. First we have to write pointer name. First pointer name barkobeku. Then we have to use the special operator called. What is the special operator? Arrow operator use ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Write the arrow operator. Then you have to specify member name. Then you have to specify the member name or the variable name ಅಂತ ಬರೀಬಹುದು. Both are same. Pointer. Then you have to write arrow operator. Then you have to write the member name. So this is the syntax to access members of a structure by using pointer variable. Next, what is the example for this? So ಯಾವ ತರ ಇದನ್ನ access ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು example ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. Let us create a structure. So structures are created by using a keyword called struct. ನಾವು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ. ವಿ ನೋ ದಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೀತೀವಿ. ಅದೇ ತರ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ನೇಮ್. ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ನೇಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ವಿಶ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್. ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ನೇಮ್ ನಾನು ಏನಂತ ತಗೋತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ? ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. And after this you have to specify the members of the structure. ಇದರೊಳಗಡೆ members of the structures ಅನ್ನ ಬರ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. The first member I am taking as register number. Int register number. Int register number. Data type of this is int and member name is register number. And next we know that all the students are having the name. So character name of 20. So 20 is the size of the string here, 20 characters. So name is the member name and character is the data type. And next one more I am taking it as float. Float fees is one of the data, one of the member name. And float is the data type, fees is the member name. And close the structure and write semicolon. Semicolon indicates end of a structure. ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಗೀತು, ಯಾವ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಗೀತು ಅಂತ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ? That is shown by or that is indicated by the semicolon. Next, I want to access the members of the structure. What are the members here? We are having 3 members. One is register number and another one is name and one more is fees. So I want to access these members. The members will access ಮಾಡಬೇಕು by using what concept? Pointers and structures by using this syntax. First we have to create structure variables. Structure variable create ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. How to create the structure variable? Write the structure name. What is the structure name? Student is the structure name. You can observe here. Structure name is written as student. Then you have to write structure variable. The first structure variable I created is yes. First structure variable create ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಯಾವ್ದದು? yes ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. And I will create one more structure variable. Student is a structure name. The structure variable is sp ಅಂತ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು structure variable ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Observe here. This is the pointer variable. This is normal variable. S ಅಂತ ಇರೋದು normal variable. sp ಅಂತ ಬರ್ದಿದೀವಲ್ಲ, we used here the pointer operator. ನಾವು ಈ pointer operator ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ this is of type pointer variable. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ತರ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? Pointer variable, that is structure variable. And next you have to assign the address of s to the pointer. ಈ ಎಸ್ಸಿನ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ನ ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ? ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ಗೆ ಅಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ pointers are used to store the address of another variable. What is the variable here? S is the variable. The address of S must be stored to pointer. Then you can access the members. ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು members ಅನ್ನು access ಮಾಡಬಹುದು by using which operator? Arrow operator. Write the syntax for this. So SP is the pointer name and use the arrow operator. Then member name. Out of these three, which member you required? ಈ ಮೂರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವ ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಬೇಕು ಅದರ ನೇಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಬರ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. So I write register number I want. So I written register number. And SP is the pointer name, pointer variable. Then you have to write arrow operator. Then out of these three, any one name. So fees is the another member. So this is how we can access the members of a structure by using pointer. SP is a pointer. You can observe here. So pointer ಅನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ದಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ pointers and structures. Here important thing is which operator we are using, arrow operator, and syntax, the creation of structure and creation of structure variables. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಒಂದು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಗೆ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಕಳಿಸಬೇಕು, ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ನ ಕಾಪಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ದ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಆರೋ ಆಪರೇಟರ್. ಅವಾಗ ನಾವು ಆರೋ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿಸ್? ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್. Next we will discuss about the very important 3-mark concept called memory allocation of pointers. Memory allocation of pointers. So we know that in order to store the variables, in order to store the values in the variables, we require the memory space inside the computer, right? For example, A is equal to 10 anta baradre, B is equal to 20 anta ni value kotre, those variables must be, or the values of those variables must be stored in the computer memory. Hangadre, what are the methods to allocate the memory? What are the methods to give memory to the variables annadu ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. So what do you mean by memory allocation? Memory allocation means the process of allocating memory space to the value storing entities. What do you mean by memory allocation? Memory allocation means the process of allocating memory space to the value storing entities. So what is the meaning of value storing entities here? Value storing entities means the variables. Value storing entities means variables. The process of allocating memory space to the variables, or the process of allocating memory space to the value storing entities is called memory allocation. And in case of memory allocation, we are having two methods or two types of memory allocation. ಎರಡು type of memory allocation ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. The first type is the static memory allocation. Static memory allocation. And the second type is dynamic memory allocation. So there are two methods of allocating the memory, or two types of allocating the memory. One is static memory allocation and second one is dynamic memory allocation. So what do you mean by static memory allocation? The definition is very easy. Static memory allocation means it is a process of allocating memory to the value storing entities at the time of compilation. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಗಳು ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ವರ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು? ಅಟ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಪೈಲೇಷನ್. ಅಟ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ compilation. At the time of compilation. So what do you mean by static memory allocation? Static memory allocation means it is a process of allocating memory space to the value storing entities at the time of compilation. We know that we have to follow the two times while you are executing the program. One is run time and another one is compile time. So compile time ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಅಲೋಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಕಂಪೈಲೇಷನ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮೆಮೊರಿನ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, that type of memory is called static memory allocation. ಇದೇ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಬರೀತೀರಾ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಗೆ ಅಟ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಪೈಲೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಸೇರಿಸಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಲೋಕೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಟು ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಸ್ಟೋರಿಂಗ್ ಎಂಟಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಪೈಲೇಷನ್. So same thing, what is dynamic memory allocation? Same definition, the process of allocating memory space to the value storing entity at the time of execution. At the time of execution. Last ಗೆ ಈ ಲೈನ್ ನ ಸೇರಿಸಬೇಕು. At the time of execution. Clear? What do you mean by dynamic memory allocation? It is a process of allocation of memory space to the value storing entities at the time of execution. So that this is also called as static memory allocation, is also called as compilation time allocation. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೆಸರು ಏನಂತ ಕರೀಬಹುದು? It is also called as compilation time allocation. Compilation time allocation. And this dynamic memory is also called as runtime allocation. Dynamic memory ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೆಸರು ಏನಂತ ಕರೀಬಹುದು? Runtime allocation ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. So because this is allocated at the time of compilation, this memory is allocated at the time of execution. Execution is nothing but runtime. So the static memory allocation is also called as compile time allocation. The dynamic memory allocation is also called as runtime allocation. So this is about the definition and the types of memory allocation of pointers. Now very important 3-mark question is, what is the difference between static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocation? So now we are going to discuss about the very important 3-mark question, the difference between static memory allocation, static memory allocation, and the next is dynamic memory allocation. Dynamic memory allocation. So one difference we already know that. So one of first difference is about the definition. So what do you mean by static memory allocation? In this, the memory is allocated. Memory is allocated. Memory is allocated at the time of compilation. At the time of compilation. This is the first point. As we discussed in the definition. Definition and the first point memory is allocated at the time of compilation. Or it can also be written as memory is allocated before the time of execution. Before the time of execution andru onde, at the time of compilation andru onde. Clear? And the first point under dynamic memory allocation is the memory is allocated at the time of execution. At the time of execution. So this is the definition as we discussed it before. The definition is in first point. And second point is the other names for this. The static memory is also called as compilation time memory or compile time allocation. It is also called as compile and it is also called as, means dynamic memory allocation is also called as runtime allocation. Runtime allocation. So this is the second difference. And the third difference is new and delete operators. New and delete operators are not used. New and delete operators are not used in case of static memory allocation. What is this new and delete operators? We know that in case of dynamic memory allocation, new operator is used to allocate the memory space. Memory space na variables ಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, memory space na variables ಗೆ allocate ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ ಬೇಕು? ನ್ಯೂ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ ಬೇಕು. ಅದೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವ ಮೆಮೊರಿನ ವಾಪಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಡಿ ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ, ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ದ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಗಿವನ್ ಬೈ ನ್ಯೂ ಆಪರೇಟರ್, that is done by using delete operator. ನ್ಯೂ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಮೆಮೊರಿನ ವಾಪಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಯಾವ ಆಪರೇಟರ್? ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್. These two operators are not used in static memory. ಇವೆರಡು ಆಪರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ? ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿಲಿ ಬರಲ್ಲ. So that the new and delete operators, new and delete operators are used for allocation and deallocation of memory. So new is used for allocation, delete is used for deallocation in case of dynamic memory allocation. And next point is the memory provided in static memory allocation is fixed or it is unchangeable. So static means it is constant. We cannot change the memory values or we cannot change the memory because it is fixed or unchangeable since it is a static. ಒಂದು ಸಲ ನಾವು ಅಲೋಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮುಗೀತು, ಆ ಮೆಮೊರಿನ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದಿಸ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ಅನ್ಚೇಂಜಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ದ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಡೈನಾಮಿಕ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಇಸ್ ಚೇಂಜಬಲ್. The memory provided by dynamic memory allocation is changeable. We can change the memory during the execution. Execution ಮಾಡುವಾಗ memory size ಅನ್ನು changes ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು by using new and delete operators. And next point is this static memory allocation is implemented in case of stacks and heap areas. Stacks and heap areas. What is this stack and heap areas? Means when you consider the computer memory. Now computer memory anta tagondaaga it is having different segments. Computer memory li different parts irutte, different segments irutte. ಆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ನೇಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೀಪ್ ಏರಿಯಾ, ಡಾಟಾ ಸೆಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಏರಿಯಾ, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಏರಿಯಾ, ಕ್ಯೂ ಏರಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ನೇಮ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದೇ ತರನೇ ಈ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು? ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೀಪ್ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್. Similar to that, the dynamic memory allocation can be implemented at data segment areas. Data segment areas. The dynamic memory allocation ಅನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು? ಡಾಟಾ ಸೆಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Clear? And the next point you can write it as the values of a variable. Static memory allocation ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ the values of a variables cannot be carried for further executions. Cannot be carried for further executions means the values of a variable ಒಂದು ಸಲ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮುಗಿತು, those cannot be carried for the further execution. ಮುಂದೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅದೇ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ, ಅದೇ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ? ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. But if you take dynamic memory allocation, the values of a variable can be carried to the further executions. Can be carried to the further executions. So these are the differences between static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocation. Very important 3-mark question. Minimum you have to write the 4 points. So 3 points baribodu. Minimum you have to practice to write the 4 points under this difference between static memory and dynamic memory allocation. So this is about the today's class. Let us write the assignment questions based on this. So the assignment questions based on the today's topic. 1-mark questions. What is a static memory? And the second question, what is dynamic memory? And third question, what is the purpose of new operator in C++? And fourth question, what is delete operator in C++? You have to write definition here. New operator is used for allocation of memory dynamically. The delete operator is used for deallocation, means it destroy the memory antanu baribodu, or deallocation of memory dynamically. These two operators are used in dynamic method. And define string and structure definitions you have to write here. 3-mark questions. Explain the relationship between pointers and the strings with an example. And the second question, and very important question, differentiate between static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocation. So this is about the assignment questions. Thank you.